In a school town obsessed with perfection, a mysterious bloody fruit tree appears with crimson fruits. A boy dressed in black gives them to those who need them. The fruit awakens hidden desires and repressed emotions. One night, Jiakai traveled with her mother to Chongming town. Chongming High School in town was renowned for its high university admission rate. It was said to produce the top scorer in the joint examinations every year. Its cram school was the ultimate dream destination for repeat exam takers. However, Chongming High School stood in an isolated location. After reaching the foot of the mountain, visitors still needed to take a cable car uphill. Mobile phones had to be handed in upon exiting the cable car. For some unknown reason, a strange premonition crept over Jiakai. Something about this secluded school felt deeply eerie. After a bumpy journey, Jiakai finally arrived at Chongming town, where the school was situated. The small town looked desolate and rundown. Shrouded year-round in a layer of pale gray mist, it exuded an even stronger aura of mystery and dread. The next day, Jiakai's mother took her to meet the school principal. The principal cut straight to the point. He stated plainly that everyone who came to Chongming was a failure, but this school would transform its students into successful people. A teacher warned Jiakai that the principal had established strict school rules. Anyone who broke them would face severe consequences. Just then, Jiakai noticed bloodstains on the classroom doorknob. Not far away, a girl mechanically recited her textbook while picking up scattered books. Even more unsettling were the posters of each year's top scorer lining the walls. Every single top scorer on the posters tilted their heads, their eyes empty and lifeless, staring blankly forward as if their souls had vanished. The sight was profoundly uncanny. The teacher led Jiakai into a classroom. Student seats were arranged strictly according to exam results. Now that Jiakai had arrived, all students with lower joint examination scores had to move further back. When Jiakai sat down at her desk, she spotted a diary tucked inside the desk compartment, filled with all manner of curses. Suddenly, a boy in the neighboring seat snatched the diary away. It belonged to him. The boy's eyes widened as he shouted that Jiakai had seen things she ought not to witness. He cursed her, claiming she would be shunned by the whole class and encounter terrifying incidents. Shortly afterwards, the teacher led the whole class in chanting rousing motivational slogans. Fueled by these words, the students tensed themselves up and embarked on their grueling daily routine as repeat exam candidates. Fortunately, amid the tedious, harsh study schedule, Jiakai befriended Xiao, the girl sitting directly behind her. Warm and kind-hearted, Xiao urged Jiakai to keep a low profile while staying in Chongming. Every day after school, Jiakai would tie her loose hair back up. She needed to act like an obedient daughter in front of her mother. Yet that day, Jiakai discovered her university acceptance letter had been taken by her mother. Jiakai loved insects and had already earned admission to the entomology department of a university, but her mother refused to let her attend. In her mother's eyes, studying medicine was her daughter's only viable path in life. Jiakai accused her mother of taking something that rightfully belonged to her without permission. Her mother adopted the stance of a domineering elder, arguing that she had given birth to her daughter and provided everything she owned, so she naturally held the right to make such decisions. Faced with her mother's high-handed tyranny, Jiakai was lost for words. To ease her troubled mind, Jiakai skipped evening self-study and wandered into the woods. There she accidentally witnessed a group of townsfolk carrying a bound boy past her hiding spot. Jiakai concealed herself and watched. She saw them carry the boy into a wooden cabin. An elderly man inside the cabin was cutting through a dark, amorphous mass, within which strands of human hair seemed visible. Stranger still, the leading townsman held a small bowl of red berries, apparently seized from the boy's home. Staring at the berries in his hand, the man wore a pensive expression. The events of the previous night felt like a blurred dream, leaving Jiakai distracted during class the next morning. The whole class was punished with a run as a result. Blaming Jiakai for their punishment, several classmates kicked and shoved her while running. The boy who owned the cursed diary went even further and laid another curse on Jiakai, wishing she would have no friends and be chased by ghosts. Jiakai fled to the restroom and cried in despair. At that very moment, a forest fire broke out at the foot of the mountain. The school alarm blared, ordering all students to go home immediately and stay indoors. As the school's announcement spread, every resident in town shut their doors and windows, as if silently preparing to confront some horrific entity. Jiakai had been locked inside the restroom by another female student. Upon hearing the alarm, she climbed over the stall partition to escape. The school grounds were deserted, thick smoke drifting everywhere. Jiakai heard a girl's voice coming from one of the classrooms. The girl begged Jiakai to open the door for her. Jiakai stepped into the classroom and saw a girl sitting at a desk. Yet in the blink of an eye, the girl vanished without a trace. Jiakai looked around searching for her, only to find her own name written across the blackboard. Then a vengeful ghostly woman appeared before her with a piercing roar. Terrified, Jiakai sprinted out into the corridor, only to find ghostly student figures lining both sides. Overwhelmed by fright, she darted into another classroom, while the ghosts outside roared and howled non-stop. Meanwhile in the woods at the foot of the mountain, the diary-writing boy Xuanji was frantically nailing a voodoo doll modeled after Jiakai to a tree, constantly muttering incantations to cast his curse. Xuanji acted like a madman. Several other students' dolls were also nailed to the same tree, curses laid upon each of them. Oddly enough, as the smoke slowly cleared, all ghosts within the school vanished into thin air. Subsequently, officers investigating the forest fire discovered traces of suspected arson. In a daze, Jiakai wandered into the woods. The officers, who presumed the fire was deliberately set, spotted her and gave chase. Just as Jiakai was about to be caught, the lead officer's attention was diverted by a flying stone. Seizing the chance, Jiakai fled the scene. She rushed home in a state of shock and told her mother about all the bizarre happenings in the town, insisting that they leave at once. However, her mother refused to go under any circumstances. She had already sold their family house to gather money for Jiakai's repeat exam tuition. As she spoke, tears streamed down her face. She felt her own life had lost all hope, and her only remaining aspiration was her daughter's future. She was willing to sacrifice everything to help her daughter rise above hardship and achieve success. Moved by her mother's tearful and desperate plea, Jiakai finally relented. She decided to stay, choosing to fulfill her mother's heartfelt wish. After the incident, Xuanji refused to let Jiakai off easily. He put insects in Jiakai's lunchbox and a toad in Xiao's lunchbox. As an insect enthusiast, Jiakai felt no fear of the bugs. Instead, she carefully wrapped them up and placed them in her pencil case. After school, officers stood guard at the school gate, conducting inspections to find out which student had set the forest fire the previous night. At this moment, a male classmate named Lianjia rushed over to support the injured Jiakai and told her to lie to the officers, saying she had been at home during the fog the night before. It turned out that it was Lianjia who had thrown the stone to distract the townsfolk the previous night. Thanks to Lianjia's cover-up, the lead townsman found nothing suspicious. Later, Lianjia accompanied Jiakai to the forest. Jiakai released the insects from her pencil case into the forest soil, wishing them freedom to grow and thrive. Deep in the woods, the two stumbled upon a delirious woman. Lianjia recognized her as the mother of his good friend Zhang, who had gone missing days ago. Bewildered by the woman's demented state, Jiakai asked what had happened to her, but Lianjia refused to explain. He only warned Jiakai to stay away from all the town's residents. Right then, Lianjia spotted a cursed doll hanging from a tree in the forest, bearing his friend Zhang's name. It was clear that something terrible had happened to Zhang. The monthly placement exam soon arrived. While all the students were focused on their papers, Zhang's mother lingered deliriously outside the school's iron gate, repeatedly telling her son to do his best in the exam. Uncle Chiu, the leading townsman, kept a close eye on her the entire time. That night, taking advantage of Zhang's mother's unawareness, Uncle Chiu tied her up with a rope and knocked her unconscious. He spotted tiny red tree sprouts growing out of her neck and burst into maniacal laughter. In the dead of night, Uncle Chiu dug a pit and buried Zhang's mother. A withered tree grew in the burial pit, with a small pendant hanging on its branches. Humming a tune, Uncle Chiu stroked the pendant gently, as if reminiscing about someone he missed. Meanwhile, a group of town parents held a meeting, presided over by Wenayu's mother and Jiakai's mother. Jiakai learned that Wenayu ranked among the top students in the class. To satisfy her vanity, Wenayu's mother often held commendation meetings for outstanding students in the town. Besides her excellent grades, Wenayu was beautiful, versatile, and a perfect girl who always caught everyone's attention. A few days later, the placement exam results were released. All the students knew that the top scorer would be admitted to the sprint class for the school's elite students. Everyone had assumed Wenayu would claim first place without a doubt. To their great surprise, Xuanji, the eccentric and unmotivated student, took first place and secured a spot in the sprint class. The students were stunned. They began to fawn on Xuanji, while Wenayu, who had failed to make the rank, suffered an emotional breakdown and lashed out angrily at her mother. It was revealed that Wenayu was an illegitimate daughter abandoned by her father. Resenting her mother for living a shameful, hidden life, Wenayu acted like a wicked queen from a fairy tale, constantly combing her hair in front of the mirror and comforting herself that she was the most beautiful and perfect person in the world. Xiao found the result extremely strange. Xuanji idled away every day and never studied seriously, so there was no way he could have gotten first place. The next day, Xiao and Jiakai saw Uncle Fu and several other parents queuing persistently at the school gate. They waited there every day, hoping for a student to be expelled so that they could buy the student's school quota and send their own children to study at Chongming High School. Xiao always ranked at the bottom of the class, which caught Uncle Fu's attention many times. He wanted to buy her student quota. Jiakai visited Xiao's home. She saw that Xiao lived in poverty, sharing a shabby shed with her mute father who earned a living by manual labor. Desperate to escape poverty, Xiao studied with every ounce of her strength. Yet no matter how hard she tried, she could never break free from being the worst student, hating her seemingly incapable self. In order to claim first place, Wenayu persuaded a boy who had a crush on her to kidnap Xuanji. She pressed Xuanji to reveal his secret to topping the exam. Under interrogation, Xuanji finally told the truth, admitting the key to getting first place lay with a teenage boy dressed in black. Xuanji vanished the next day. His father came to the school looking for him, yet none of the students claimed to have seen the boy. That day, a foul stench suddenly filled the classroom. To avoid the odor, students even ate their meals out in the corridor. Only Wenayu remained poised, eating inside the classroom as if she could not smell a thing. Jiakai's grades dropped further in this placement exam. For her daughter's sake, Jiakai's mother turned to Wenayu's mother who lived opposite them, hoping to join the outstanding students' parent group. Wenayu's mother agreed, on the condition that Jiakai's mother take over her duty of cleaning the classroom. That night, Jiakai's mother and several other parents came to clean the classroom. The parents soon found the source of the strange smell, a cabinet beneath the podium. When they opened it, they discovered Xuanji tied up inside. Shortly after Xuanji was rescued, tales of the boy in black spread across the school overnight. Word went that anyone who ventured into the forest to find him on foggy nights could achieve top exam scores like Xuanji and earn a place in the sprint class. Lily, a wealthy girl in the class, accidentally uncovered Wenayu's plot to arrange the kidnapping. She demanded to know where the boy in black was. When Wenayu refused to answer, Lily jabbed repeatedly at her eyeball with a fountain pen. She was then brutally beaten by the boy fond of Wenayu. Thick fog rolled into the forest again that night. Chasing better grades, Xiao decided to take the risk. She pulled Jiakai along to search for the boy dressed in black in the woods. Wenayu also headed into the forest. Amid heavy mist, she heard a woman's voice speaking to her, claiming to be her true self. Wenayu held up a mirror and screamed in terror. A ghostly face clung to one half of her own face. Right then, the voice of the mysterious boy in black sounded behind her. He asked Wenayu whether she wished to become even more perfect. Wenayu said yes without hesitation and ate the strange fruit he handed her. After eating the mysterious fruit, Wenayu grew increasingly flawless and drew even more admiring glances from boys. During lessons, the male students could focus only on her, some even ignoring classes just to write love letters to her. Xiao, on the other hand, was deeply upset. The previous night, she had overheard Jiakai's mother scolding Jiakai. She complained that Xiao, a perpetual bottom student, was dragging Jiakai down. When Xiao sank into despair, her mute father comforted her. Determined to live up to her father's expectations, Xiao swore she would gain admission to a medical university. The next day at school, Lily called Xiao to the restroom. The night before in the forest, Lily had secretly watched Wenayu eat the fruit. She learned it was the blood jade fruit, rumored to fulfill desires and make people perfect. Lily urged Xiao to steal the blood jade fruit hidden inside Wenayu's school bag and promised to share it with her once she got it. Wenayu gradually noticed the side effects of consuming the blood jade fruit. Her neck became swollen and itchy. She spread foundation over her neck to cover the blemishes. To her horror, strange growths emerged inside her mouth. To conceal her secret, she hastily swallowed another blood jade fruit. Back in the classroom, Wenayu caught Xiao rummaging through her school bag. Exposed, Xiao fled in panic. Lily refused to let her off, insisting Xiao get the blood jade fruit by any means, whether through stealth or force. During PE class the following day, Xiao pretended to fall. Lily then escorted her back to the classroom under an excuse. Xiao searched Wenayu's bag once more, but found no blood jade fruit. Instead, she accidentally shattered Wenayu's mirror. Wenayu knew immediately who was responsible. She soon posted flyers mocking Xiao all over the school and asked her admirer to bully Xiao's mute father. Unable to endure any longer, Xiao grabbed a bucket of glue and headed for the restroom. She tipped the entire bucket over Wenayu's head. Wenayu's beautiful long hair and delicate face were covered in glue, leaving her unrecognizable, neither human nor ghost. With her hair and face ruined, Wenayu swallowed all the remaining blood jade fruit in the jar at once. She cut off her long hair and tried to peel the glue off her face. As the glue came away, strips of skin were torn off along with it. When she looked into the mirror, Wenayu suffered hallucinations. It seemed to her that her skin looked smoother and more beautiful than ever. But to all her classmates, Wenayu's face was covered in fresh wounds, permanently disfigured. That day, as Wenayu was gazing at her reflection, she once again saw a ghostly face growing on one side of her countenance. At that moment, Lily and Xiao slipped into the restroom, attempting to snatch the blood jade fruit from her hand. Moments later, a scream echoed from downstairs. The students witnessed Wenayu fall from the building to her death. Lianjiao observed closely and discovered tiny tree sprouts growing out of the wounds on Wenayu's neck, exactly the same as those on the missing student's mother. Having witnessed her daughter's tragic death firsthand, Wenayu's mother let out heart-wrenching cries upon rushing to the scene. Despite Wenayu's brutal demise, the school remained eerily quiet. For Chongming High School and its exam-obsessed students, Wenayu's existence seemed to be completely erased. Only Lianjiao and Jiakai harbored doubts about her death. Lianjiao returned to the restroom where Wenayu had fallen that night and picked up a talisman on the floor. He recognized it as a gift Lily had wanted to give him days before. Lianjiao told Jiakai about his discovery, suspecting Lily had also been at the scene of the accident. The two decided to split up to question Lily and Xiao respectively and get to the bottom of the truth. Secretly in love with Lianjiao, Lily quickly confessed everything about the boy in black and the blood jade fruit under his questioning. According to Lily's recollection, she had argued with Wenayu over the blood jade fruit that night. During the struggle, the boy who liked Wenayu broke in and assaulted her. Wenayu had flown into a frenzy and ordered the boy to kill Lily. Instead, the boy quarreled with Wenayu, allowing Lily to escape in the chaos. She had no idea who had pushed Wenayu off the building afterward. Jiakai also confronted Xiao about what happened that night, asking if she had taken the blood jade fruit from Wenayu. In truth, Xiao had stolen the fruit amid the chaos, yet she lied to Jiakai, claiming she had taken nothing. She then told Jiakai not to look for her again, insisting that studying was her only priority now. After obtaining the blood jade fruit, Xiao's grades improved dramatically. She became seemingly invincible during exams, able to write accurate answers instantly without thinking. Meanwhile, the side effects of the fruit gradually emerged. Xiao could not stop scratching her neck and suffered from constant vomiting. Desperate to relieve the symptoms, she consumed more blood jade fruit, yet far more terrifying than the fruit was the darkness of human nature. Ajin, the boy who had loved Wenyu, locked himself at home. It was he who had pushed Wenyu to her death that night. He had been deeply stung by Wenyu's harsh words during their quarrel. Overwhelmed by sorrow and guilt, Ajin shifted all blame to Xiao. Convinced that none of the tragedy would have happened if she had not tried to steal the fruit. Seeking revenge, Ajin chased Xiao all the way to her home. Xiao's father struggled desperately to protect his daughter, but Ajin shoved him violently to the ground. Unexpectedly, Xiao's father suddenly foamed at the mouth and collapsed. Xiao rushed her father to the hospital, barely making it in time for her exam. Jiakai grew increasingly worried about Xiao, who had started wearing a mask all day and refused to speak to anyone. She only gestured faintly at Jiakai after school. Several days after the exams, Xiao slipped Jiakai a note, begging her to ask Jiakai's mother to drive her to the hospital. She had clearly realized that her body was suffering severe abnormalities. On the same day, the teacher announced the latest placement exam results. To everyone's shock, Xiao, once the bottom student, claimed first place and earned admission to the elite sprint class. At that moment, the town's alarm blared once more. Another wildfire broke out in the forest. Following the rule, all students were ordered to return home immediately with no lingering. Jiakai tried to find Xiao, but she had already rushed away in a hurry. Amid the thick fog, Xiao stumbled toward a pond, where the mysterious boy in black appeared before her. The boy saw through her regret and her desperate wish to start over. Just then, Ajin caught up with her and roughly tore off her mask. To his horror, a giant slug crawled out of Xiao's mouth. Ajin yanked the slug out violently and pushed Xiao into the pond. Unaware of Xiao's accident, Jiakai went to the hospital with her mother to visit Xiao's father. From Xiao's mother, they learned that her father had been poisoned by rat poison. Jiakai's mother was instantly consumed by self-blame. It turned out that Wenyu's mother had blamed Xiao for her daughter's death. To seek revenge, she had persuaded Jiakai's mother to help her scatter rat poison in Xiao's pond days ago. Completely unaware of this, Xiao's father had been cooking fish caught from the pond for dinner every day. Jiakai asked Xiao's mother about the gesture Xiao had made to her. Xiao's mother explained that the gesture meant, "I'm sorry." When Jiakai heard the message Xiao had left for her mother, sorrow welled up inside her. Xiao had mentioned her friend Jiakai countless times in the recording. All Xiao wanted was to enter university and step into society alongside Jiakai, remaining lifelong best friends. Tears blurred Jiakai's eyes after listening to the message. Tragically, by the time she found her friend, all she saw was Xiao's body fished out of the pond. As if sensing her daughter's death, Xiao's father broke out in profuse sweat and passed away that same night in hospital. After Xiao was pushed into the pond, Ajin received the blood jade fruit from the boy dressed in black. Desperate to see the girl he loved once more, Ajin recklessly ate all the forbidden fruit inside the jar. Miraculously, Wenyu seemingly materialized before his eyes. The illusory Wenyu grew intimate with him, saying she wanted to join the sprint class together with Ajin. She claimed no one else deserved a place there except the two of them. Persuaded by Wenyu, Ajin grabbed a hammer and murdered several students from the sprint class. The school soon uncovered the killings and launched a manhunt for Ajin. Wounded and on the verge of death, Ajin followed the vision of Wenyu into the forest. He placed the voodoo dolls bearing his name and Wenyu side by side on the tree. Then, lost in his delusion of Wenyu, he breathed his last. Ironically, Ajin's death was used by Chongming High School as a cautionary tale to discipline students. The school broadcast announced that Ajin had lost his sanity because he could not accept being expelled. Parents were urged strictly to supervise their children, and students were told to devote all their attention to studying, with no room for other distractions. Amid the principal's broadcast, Ajin's father, who had often resorted to violence against his son, ended his own life consumed by guilt. Lianjia was also teetering on the brink of collapse. He had spent days searching for his missing classmate and close friend. One night in the forest, Uncle Chiu, one of the townsfolk, warned him to stop looking, declaring that the person he sought was long dead. Yet through the thick mist, Lianjia thought he heard his friend's cries for help. When he glanced toward the window, a rope slowly descended. As he stared at the rope, a terrifying monstrous head suddenly dropped into view. It slammed repeatedly against the window and even mimicked the voice of Lianjia's missing friend. The head vanished the instant he looked up. Uneasy, Lianjia leaned forward to look outside, only for the rope to wrap tightly around his neck. As the fog cleared, Lianjia jolted awake from the nightmare, unsure whether what he had experienced had merely been an illusion. Later, a casual remark from Lily sparked a thought in Lianjia's mind. The cursed doll carved with his friend's name hung in the forest. He retrieved the doll and went to see Xuanji. Xuanji's grandfather confirmed that Xuanji had made all those dolls. When Lianjia met Xuanji, the boy mysteriously pulled out a jar of blood jade fruit, saying it had been given to him by the boy in black. Looking around Xuanji's room and listening to his grandfather's words, Lianjia realized that the seemingly odd Xuanji harbored no malicious intent. His so-called curses were nothing more than childish pranks. Meanwhile, unable to come to terms with Xiao's death, Jia snuck out of home late at night to meet Lianjia. She demanded that he reveal everything he knew. She could not let her best friend die without justice. Lianjia finally told Jia the whole truth. The story began with his friend Zhang's mother. Shortly after the new semester began, Zhang's mother brought home several tree leaves and told her son and Lianjia to eat them quickly, claiming the leaves would make them smarter. Sensing something wrong, Zhang refused to eat them, but his mother swallowed the leaves herself. She said she had relied on those exact leaves to get into a top university years ago. Lianjia later learned that Zhang's mother had once been a student at Chongming High School. After eating the leaves, Zhang's mother grew increasingly unhinged. The two boys secretly followed her and witnessed her venture into the forest one night to consume the blood jade fruit. At the far end of that forest lay a plantation where blood jade trees were grown. Lianjia observed that after eating the tree's fruit, Zhang's mother suffered severe hallucinations, and red tree sprouts sprouted from her neck, exactly the same condition that had afflicted Wen Yu and Xiao. Lianjia suspected that the growth of the sprouts meant a person's body had become a host for the blood jade fruit. Jia brought up the boy in black who distributed the fruit, confused about the nature of the connection between him and the townsfolk. Lianjia was certain of one thing: the townsfolk cultivated the blood jade fruit. Back then, he and Zhang resolved to destroy the fruit, believing it brought untold misfortune. One night, they sneaked into the plantation and set it on fire. They were spotted by townsfolk and forced to flee. In the chaos, Lianjia became separated from his friend. Lianjia later discovered that not only the leaves and fruit warped anyone who consumed them, but even the smoke from burning the orchard carried hallucinogenic properties. He surmised that Zhang's mother had eaten the leaves when she studied here, and those leaves held the secret behind Chongming High School's staggering university admission rate. In hopes of finding his friend, Lianjia repeatedly snuck into the plantation to start fires in the following months. On the day Jia enrolled, thick smoke once again rose from the plantation, yet Lianjia was not the arsonist that night. At first, Lianjia thought his friend had returned, but Uncle Chiu, the real culprit, told him that his friend was already dead. After hearing the story, Jia recalled seeing townsfolk carrying a bound boy that night. She suspected the boy being transported was none other than the missing Zhang. To uncover the truth behind the blood jade fruit, Jia and Lianjia resolved to sneak into the principal's office to investigate. Inside the office, they found a list. It contained the names of students with poor grades from impoverished families, and Xiao's name was on it. Strangely, every student on the list who had no relatives and maintained no outside contact was marked as qualified. The next night, Jia attempted to slip out again but was stopped by her mother. Her mother insisted that she focus solely on studying, forbidding her from dwelling on the deaths and odd occurrences plaguing the town. In the darkness, Uncle Chiu plotted a vengeful scheme. That night, he showed several townsfolk the blood jade trees he had secretly planted. He claimed the principal would supply fertilizer to nurture these trees. In truth, the principal had colluded with the town mayor for many years. They used destitute, low-performing students with no family ties from the list as fertilizer to feed the blood jade trees. Leaves harvested from the trees were then given to top students in the sprint class. This was the true secret behind Chongming's incredible admission rates, yet Uncle Chiu was consumed by thoughts of revenge. Years earlier, his pregnant wife had been accused of secretly eating the blood jade fruit. Men working for the mayor took her away, and she ended up as fertilizer for the blood jade trees. Uncle Chiu swore to eliminate every last one of his enemies and seize power from the mayor and principal, cultivating his own blood jade trees. That day, a father arrived in Chongming searching for his missing wife and son. Uncle Chiu led the man to the warehouse where the blood jade trees grew. As the man dug the soil, he discovered his son had been buried alive beneath the tree. He struggled frantically to pull his son free, only to find the boy's limbs had fused with the branches. When he tore the branches apart, his son's arm snapped clean off. Amid the man's furious shouts, Uncle Chiu swung a spade and struck him violently. That night, Uncle Chiu mashed the blood jade fruits into pulp, soaking the blood jade tree leaves in the red liquid. He then handed the treated leaves to Uncle Fu, who queued every day hoping to secure student quotas, telling him to distribute the leaves among all the parents. Desperate to boost his son's grades, Uncle Fu mixed the leaves into his son's dinner, claiming it was a secret recipe that would make him smarter. As agreed, Uncle Fu passed some leaves to other parents, including Jia mother. Hearing the leaves could boost intelligence, Jia mother added them to soup without hesitation, and unsuspectingly, Jia drank the soup. Shortly afterwards, Uncle Fu's son Xiaofu obtained a vacant quota and joined Jia's class. Eager to escape her mother's constant surveillance, Jia asked to study at Xiaofu's home for the night. Yet just as she tried to slip out through his window, she spotted her mother sitting rigidly downstairs, watching her every move. Having failed to meet Jia, Lianjia and Xuanji set off on their own. Following their plan, they tailed one of the expelled students listed on the principal's roster. They watched as townsfolk escorted the student and his mother to a suspicious warehouse. Lianjia nearly got caught during the pursuit, but teacher Gao, their homeroom teacher, came to his rescue and hid him in the staff dormitory. That same night, Jiakai suffered vivid hallucinations. She saw Xiao's head slithering stickily across the wall, a giant slug sliding in and out of her mouth. The next morning, Lianjia told Jiakai what he had uncovered. He suspected the mysterious warehouse was the last place the missing students had been seen. As they talked, Xuanji caught the same scent drifting from Jiakai's lunchbox that lingered on the Sprint class meals and began eating eagerly. Lianjia had long suspected that Sprint class students were consuming leaves and fruit from the blood jade tree. Jiakai recalled her mother mentioning she had added special herbal ingredients to the latest batch of lunches. Driven by suspicion, Jiakai rushed home. She soon found a sack of the leaves hidden inside the house. At the smell of the leaves, Xuanji flew into a trance and started devouring them wildly. Jiakai was horrified. She realized these were the legendary leaves from the blood jade tree. Pressed by Jiakai, her mother admitted tremblingly that Uncle Fu had given her the leaves. Following Wenayu's mother, Uncle Fu had become the new head of the parent committee. Downstairs in the residential compound, Uncle Fu marketed the leaves as miraculous medicine capable of boosting brain power to all the parents. Jiakai tried to warn them, yet desperate for their children to excel in exams, the parents ignored all risks and scrambled to ask Uncle Fu for more leaves. Watching the parents driven mad by obsession over grades, Jiakai broke down. All she wanted was to flee the town. On the road, she unexpectedly ran into her father, whom she had not seen in a long time. Jiakai believed he would take her away from Chongming town, but when she woke up after falling asleep in the car, she found herself back in the gloomy apartment in Chongming. Her father brought her straight back to her mother. Overhearing her parents' quarrel, Jiakai understood that both of them cared only about making her achieve top exam scores. Meanwhile, Lianjia visited teacher Gao's dormitory and showed him the roster stolen from the principal's office. He had looked into the names. More than half of the students listed could no longer be contacted. Lianjia also explained the link between the blood jade fruit and the Sprint class. From Wenayu to Xiao and Ajin, 3 students were confirmed dead. Alerted by Lianjia's words, teacher Gao sensed something terribly wrong and confronted the principal. The principal lied smoothly, claiming the blood jade fruit was merely medicinal and beneficial to brain development. Lianjia went missing soon after. Following the location provided by the principal, teacher Gao found him captured by townsfolk inside the warehouse and rescued him. While escaping deep into the forest, Lianjia discovered a human skeleton. On the skeleton's wrist was the watch belonging to his friend Zhang. Shock washed over Lianjia. He realized the remains belonged to the friend he had searched for endlessly. By then, the townsfolk who had captured Lianjia were closing in. To protect the boy, teacher Gao told Lianjia to run, urging him to expose the school's horrifying secret. After eating meals mixed with the blood jade sap, Xiaofu grew increasingly unhinged. To stay awake studying, he resorted to extreme measures, pricking his thighs with pencils and looping strings around his neck. After wearing the cord all night, he woke up feeling as though his head might fall off. He spent the entire day propping both hands against either side of his skull. Like Xiaofu, students all across Chongming began suffering hallucinations after eating food laced with the leaves their parents had prepared. They acted strangely and erratically both inside and outside classrooms. Worried about his son, Uncle Fu asked Uncle Chiu for answers. Uncle Chiu lied, telling him these were merely temporary side effects, and the children's grades would soon soar. Uncle Fu thought it made sense. Greatness demanded sacrifice. Hoping for better exam results for his child, he obtained more leaves from Uncle Chiu and passed them out to other parents. Before long, the mayor found out about Uncle Chiu's illegal blood jade tree plantation. He confronted Uncle Chiu at the warehouse, only to be seized by him instead. Still, Uncle Chiu faced new trouble. The principal investigated and learned that Uncle Chiu had distributed sapsoap leaves to parents to trigger hallucinations among the students. The principal suspected Uncle Chiu intended to destroy the school and the entire town. To keep Chongming's horrific system operating, the principal tempted the townsfolk with leaves and ordered them to subdue Uncle Chiu. He then questioned the mayor, who had been detained earlier, demanding to know where the blood jade fruits were hidden. For years, though the mayor colluded with the principal, he had kept all the blood jade trees and fruit for himself, supplying only leaves to the school. Faced with threats, the mayor revealed the hiding place of the fruit. Yet the moment he finished speaking, the principal sliced open his abdomen and planted a blood jade fruit inside his body. He then ordered the mayor's body to be buried. A brand new blood jade tree would grow straight out of the mayor's corpse. That night, Jiakai's father visited the principal, begging him to admit his daughter directly into the Sprint class. To persuade the principal, he promised to donate a new blood jade tree to Chongming. Jiakai wandered along the corridor lost in thought. When she lifted her gaze, she stared in shock at what she saw. More than 20 years ago, the top scorer of Chongming's first intake turned out to be Jiakai's own father. He had once been a student here, a top achiever from the Sprint class who had eaten the blood jade tree leaves. Jiakai overheard the truth. Over the years, her father had sent numerous impoverished students to Chongming, including Xiao. All of them were living fertilizer for the school. Shock crashed over Jiakai. Faced with his daughter's resentment, Jiakai's father relentlessly preached the law of the jungle. He claimed that in this world, the weak inevitably become nourishment for the strong. He wanted Jiakai to be the strong one, to live a brilliant life just like him. Midway through their argument, he hoisted Jiakai onto his shoulders and locked her inside one of the classrooms belonging to the sprint class. The so-called sprint class was made up of countless locked cubicles, identical to prison cells. After confining his daughter, Jiakai's father went to meet his ex-wife. Catching her off guard, he clamped his hands around her throat and forced a blood jade fruit down her gullet. He intended to use her flesh and body to nurture a brand new blood jade tree, yet while he was distracted, Jiakai's mother slipped away. By luck, she ran into Lianjia, who was rushing over. At the same time, Uncle Fu lured a group of parents to the warehouse, dooming them to become nourishment for the blood jade trees. In return, he earned merit in front of the principal and secured a spot for his son in the sprint class. Lianjia resolved to risk everything and destroy every blood jade tree in town. He snuck into the warehouse, planning to set fire to the tree roots. But Uncle Chiu told him those buried beneath the trees were still alive. Only living humans could cultivate blood jade trees. The cycle would only end if the blood jade fruits were destroyed, cutting off mankind's craving for them. Learning the principal had taken the fruits to the school that night, Lianjia and Jiakai's mother broke into the sprint class wing of Chongming. Jiakai's mother found her daughter inside a cubicle. After everything she had witnessed, she finally understood she had no right to control her daughter's life. Inside the cramped, cell-like room, she pulled out an admission letter for entomology and apologized to Jiakai, promising never to force her into any choice again. Reconciled at last, mother and daughter unlocked the classrooms and freed all the trapped students. Meanwhile, Lianjia broke down a locked door and burst into the warehouse at the end of the corridor. Stacked inside were countless crates of blood jade fruits. To end the horror for good, he struck a match and ignited a blaze that burned every last fruit to ashes. Thick smoke billowed outward, and the students fled in panic. Without a mask, Jiakai's mother began suffering auditory hallucinations. She heard her daughter's voice calling from behind her. Following the sound, she stepped into a classroom. Every student, including Jiakai, tilted their heads at eerie angles, moving like lifeless marionettes controlled by invisible strings. Searching for her lost mother, Jiakai wandered into a medical laboratory by chance. Photos of students used for human experiments covered the blackboard. The person who conducted all those tests was none other than her father, back when he was a student at Chongming. Jiakai demanded to know what he had done to those students. Driven completely mad, her father grabbed her by the neck and roared, asking why she refused to obey him. Struggling violently, Jiakai jolted awake from the nightmare. Everything she saw fit the perfect world her parents had always dreamed of. In this reality, Jiakai had been accepted by the best medical university. Her divorced parents chose to reconcile. Her best friend Xiao gained admission to a business school. The classrooms were peaceful, and all classmates who had died were alive and well. It was as if all the terrors had never existed. Then Jiakai spotted a blood jade fruit under the bed. Staring at the red fruit, a symbol of endless desire, every horrific memory flooded back. She realized the seemingly peaceful world was merely an illusion woven by the blood jade fruit. She thought of her mother's apology and their reconciliation. Without hesitation, she crushed the fruit in her palm. The false world shattered in an instant. Jiakai stabbed her father without hesitation, then searched through the flames until she found her mother. The fire raged more fiercely. What people sowed, they reaped. Alerted to the blaze at the school, the principal rushed to the scene, only to be fatally stabbed by Uncle Chiu, who was still barely clinging to life. Obsessed with being the top scorer, Jiakai's father fled back into the sprint class, muttering non-stop about his lifelong obsession to claim first place. The fire reduced Chongming High School to ruins and burned every cursed fruit to ash. But the story was far from over. Having unwillingly consumed the blood jade tree extract, scarlet tree sprouts began emerging from Jiakai's mother's neck. The cycle of desire threatened to repeat itself once more.